I hope you try to do it by yourself. Okay, 1 second. I'll be back in 1 minute. 1 minute. So you can open your stuff and also check. I'll be back in only 1 minute. What is that thing? Okay, so what are we going to do today in with these revisions for OSPF? So we'll be configuring OSPF and yeah, next time we'll do access control list, then network address translation, and that's all for your exam. Anything else for CCNA3 is only so part one, configure OSPF. Step one, activate OSPF. So before that, quick revision for OSPF. Quick revision. What did we do last time for revisions? So we know that OSPF is part of dynamic routing protocol. In dynamic routing protocol, we have exterior. Someone is not muting this. We have exterior gateway protocols and interior. Please mute yourself. It's disturb. Who didn't mute? Let me check. Okay. Exterior gateway protocols, it's mostly for ISPs. And interior gateway protocols is mostly for companies. And inside we have many types. In the old days, we were using distance vector. And so nowadays, we mostly use is OSPF. So to configure OSPF, we can use the network command like we did last time. Or you can use what? The interface command, like this too. We did check that router ID is like your personal ID or passport number is to identify you. Now, if we have many routers interconnected, we'll decide which one will win, the highest router ID. We did see that also passive interface is an interface that's facing the LAN. It's not connected to another router, So no OSPF communication, exchange, and all this stuff. Loopback interface is a virtual interface for management to make so this it's not a physical one. It's always on, up and running. It's mostly for management and some stuff. We did also see that if you have many router interconnected, we need to elect the DR, the big boss designated router, the highest ID, router ID. And the second one will be the backup designated router. So for two routers to exchange with OSPF, they need to be friends, to be neighbor. We call it agencies. You need to say, hello, hello, who am, this is my router ID, and we start talking. So if you don't want to elect the DR based on the router ID, you can force the router to become a DR by setting up the priority. So you go to an interface that's facing another router, and you put the highest priority, and automatically R1 will become the DR. So it's up to you, the network engineer, the way you want to set up your network. We can also modify OSPF communications with a cost. Okay, this one we just give you, we'll tell you, okay, configure that's all. Hello interval. This one is to make sure that my neighbor is still there so that we can communicate, I can exchange information, or we can exchange information. By default, they greet each other every 10 seconds. If after 40 seconds, I cannot hear from I say hello to Tony and he doesn't reply, I assume he's not available. He has some issues. I don't need to send update or what. So you can yourself as the network engineer, you can change. You go to the interface that will exchange with the other router. You can change yourself, but make sure the dead interval is 4 times the hello interval. So when you have your interface, when you have an interface, you can configure hello interval like here. You can configure the hello and dead intervals like this one. At a router interface that is connected to another router, you can configure also the priority to force the router with highest priority to become VDR. You can configure also at an interface, configure routing, like on top here. If you want to enable OSPF at the interface, you can also do that. You go to the interface and you type IP OSPF 10 area 0, depending on the questions. At the interface also, you can also configure the cost. The cost is will be given to you. And so yeah, we did also the default route and propagation. So if you have many routers interconnected and you need to configure default route on each, you don't need to go one by one. You configure on one IP route, next hop address or exit interface. Then you type the command default information originate. It means this route will be sent to all other routers that I'm dealing with. So it's a very important to do that. Okay, all these things between routers. Now to verify your OSPF, you can type show IP interface brief to see what config you made at that interface, like all these things. At the interface, you can configure all these. So if you go to the interface, you could see all these configs you made. And yeah, you can also type show IP protocols to check DR and other info. Show IP OSPF, show IP OSPF interface, show IPF neighbor. So that's all for chapter 1 and chapter 2. It's about OSPF, a dynamic routing protocol. So now in our case here, we have area 0. Area 0, we have our ISP going to the internet, our main router, eastern region is here. So BD1 is connected to BD2 and BD3, and we have LAN 1 and LAN 2. These two routers are interconnected, BD1 and PP1 with central router. So the central router is connected to PP2, PP3, LAN 3, 4, and 5. So it's always very important to take your time to understand the topology so that your configuration will be accurate. Now, let's see what is in the questions. Part 1. So today we'll do part 1. Step 1, activate OSPF. Use the process ID 10 to activate on all routers, okay? Activate OSPF by configuring the interfaces of the network devices in the Eastern network. So configuring interface Eastern network. What is Eastern network? It's here. So we need to configure OSPF based on the interface. So remember, to configure OSPF, you have a choice between using the network command, but here they say using the interface. So let's start with BD1. If you cannot see options, preference, show port label. So on BD1, I have G000 facing the others, so I can do that. Enable conft interface G000. Now, because we need to use the interface IP OSPF, the process ID and area. So IP OSPF, process ID, and single area 0. That's all. Now we can go to another interface and do the same thing. So G000 will be facing other routers, BD2 and BD3. This BD1 router will also need to communicate with the central router. So the interface is so the interface facing the other router, the central router, is S010. So we need also to enable it. We exit from here. Interface S010, IP OSPF 10, area 0. So that's all for Eastern router BD1. We can save, do, copy, run, start. Then in Eastern network, we still have BD2. BD2 is facing BD1 and BD3. So the interface is G001. So we're going to enable it. interface G0, oh, sorry, G001. We enable them because they need to talk to other routers to exchange information, routing update, and all this stuff. So this one is IP OSPF 10 area 0. We save, do copy, run, start. If you go to BD3, we interface G00 also facing the other routers. So we can configure that. Enable conft interface G001. Now, normally, don't forget to tap no shutdown. But anyway, we can see that we are all active. IP OSPF 10 area 0. We save, do, copy, run, start. So automatically, when you've done that, we can see that we have agencies formed. It means I did agree with other routers. They did agree with me to exchange information. Do copy, run, start. And ends if you want to show IP OSPF, question mark, neighbor. And I can see that me router 3, I have two neighbors. One for the other one and one for, and I could see automatically who is the DR, is the router with that IP address via my interface here. So it's already good. Now, if you go to this, we'll do the same thing for the other side, central router and PP1, PP2, PP3. We'll do the same thing. BD2, and then I can close. So I go to the other guys, PP1, interface S20, enable conft interface S020. Be careful of the interface name, 020, yeah. IP OSPF 10 area 0. I have two other interfaces facing other routers. You cannot see properly these things. Let me zoom in. We have another name. Okay, anyway, if you don't see properly, you type show IP interface brief so that you could see all interfaces. So these three interfaces are there. So we need to enable. So we did already for S02. So we did this. We're going to do this one also. So conft interface S021 IP OSPF 10 area 0. We exit and we go. So we did 2.0, we did 2.1, now 1. Interface.
Morning. Sorry, Max. Morning all. Sorry,
Yes,
Max.
yes, yes. Question.
Max, the
Yes,
step one, A,
yes.
where you did the satellite area routers. You it asked for configuring the interfaces that you did, and
Ah,
then B
yeah,
asked
yeah, 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 yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah.
network status.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So it's very important to read the questions. Me, I'm start doing my stuff. So question A, uh, we for Eastern network, we do by using the interface. We enable OSPF, we activate OSPF using the interface command. Now, the other side, the central router, we activate OSPF using the network. Thank you very much. So I'm going there to undo anything I did. So what should I do to remove anything I did on PP1? What should I do to remove all this config that I made? So to do that, you go to each interface, like here, S01, I didn't configure anything. But anyway, I'm going to copy. So you go to each interface and you tap no. You see, to remove anything you did. I exit. I go to the other interface, S0. So thank you so much. It's very important to do exactly what they ask you. No, no. Interface S0 to 0. You remove no IP obvious. You exit. You go to the other interface. It was, I think, 1. And you type also no. You must also type no. I made a mistake. I made a mistake here. I didn't remove. So here, up here, no. Yeah. So this one I removed. I go to S. You see here, I didn't remove. So I need to remove.
Max, Max,
Yes.
one last question. If
Yes.
if you didn't do copy run start, will it still save?
No, no, it won't save, but to be safe, it's good always to save, and then you remove. But if you don't save, it's not saved. It's not saved. But because you don't know if it's taken or if it's there or not, to be safe. Okay, so here I save to make sure that anything I did is removed. I end. I want to view my neighbors. Show IP OSPF neighbor. Now I have no neighbors, so I removed. So I go to PP2. Did I do for PP2? No. I go to enable, show IP OSPF neighbor. I have no neighbors. It's fine. I go to the other guy, do the same thing, enable, show IP OSPF neighbor. Okay, good. So please, 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 thank you very much, Anthony. Section A, we say Eastern network only, we use the interface. Now B, activate OSPF using the network and wildcard mask on the central router, central network. So now here, you're trying to help us. So, okay, I'm going to copy this. You open a notepad here to have a big picture of what to be done. So we say what? Please enter the network statement for the following order. serial 11 network. So what we need to do, if you need to configure using the network command, we do router OSPF process ID, and we add all these networks. So you type, what is that thing? Router OSPF, then now networks. Now I need to add the networks. Network V1 serial 11 on PP1 serial 1011. This is PP1. Do we have a addressing table? Okay, addressing table is here, it's much better. PP1, you see. So these three. So let's check what we're asking. We see on PP1, so S101120. 101120. So we need to do that. So I bring my stuff here. Oh no. So when I put it. No, no. So I'm on PP1. So S011. This is the network here. S11, I put it here. Then S20, S20 is here. Then S010. Okay. Now I need to configure OSPF based on these guys. Let me check if you can continue for the other one. Okay, let's do this one first. So we need to add this network. Sorry. I copy again and I go down here. Router OSPF 10 network, this is the network. Flash 30. Flash 30 is what?
000.3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So, yeah, so this is slash 30. So if I convert this one in decimal is 255. This guy also is 255. This guy also is 255. Now this one, if you don't know, you take your calculator. This one for CCNA1. So we have the first one, so 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4. Because the last two is 2 and 1. So we are done. 252. Here is 252. 252. So normal. So normally this is the subnet. So this one the subnet mask. But here we need what? The wildcard mask. Wild. Okay. Wildcard mask. So the wildcard mask is the opposite of this. What does it mean? We do 255, 255, 255, 255. So all 255 minus the subnet mask. So minus 255 here for the subnets and here is 252. So we see the wildcard mask. 255 minus 255 is 0 down here. This one, 255 minus 255 is also 0. 255 minus 255 is also 0. Now 255 minus 252 is 3. You see? So now the wildcard mask here is 0.0.0.3. Area 0. Be careful. If you make a mistake here, everything's wrong. So we did for the first network, and we see the second network, it's the same thing, /30, it's fine. So I copy this, I put it down, network, I paste here, and we say /30, it means it's the same thing. Again, network again, and the other guy, serial here, we say this, /30, and it's the same here. So this is on PP1. So we copy everything. So if you go back to our questions, activate OSPF using the network statement. And we say because of for this assessment, we must configure the network based on this. So we go to PP1. We just did this. This is PP1 here. Const root. I think I did root OSPF already. I paste. Yeah. So router OSPF 10, and these are the networks required. No error. Do copy. Run start. And you see automatically it's starting finding some neighbors. If I say, if I exit at the end, show IP OSPF neighbor. So for now, I have only one neighbor. Why? Because if I need to be a neighbor with these two guys, I also need to configure OSPF on them so that we can exchange. So we did reconfig on this router. We did reconfig on this router. So automatically, Eastern router and Central router are neighbors. We go to PP2, PP3 to do the same thing. So PP2, we do the same thing. We copy. PP2 is here. Go to the addressing table. PP2 is here. Okay. So G00, we copy. G00 network is here. We paste. Sorry. Oh, still on PP2. S010. I copy. S010 is here. I paste. The other one, S011. You're still on PP2. S011 is here. I copy. And I put S011 is here. So now we need to work on these networks. I'll copy this. I'll put it down here. So the first network is this one /30. So it's fine. We can just copy this and we put it here. It's okay. The second one is /30. So we can just copy this one and we put it here. Now the last one is /28. So /28, it means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 24 here, 25, 26, 27, 28. If you convert in decimal, this one is 255. This one is 255. Now this guy is how much? Take your calculator, you clean up 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16. 240. So here is 240. The wildcard mask will be what? Minus 240 here. The wild here will be 15. It means down here, I copy this guy. The network, I put it here. Now the wildcard mask here will be 15. So it's very, very, very important to be careful on the wildcard mask. So now this one for PP2, I copy everything. I go to PP2. Enable, conft, and I do my stuff here. No error. Automatically, I'm starting getting a neighbor. Do copy run start to save. Who's my neighbor? Show IP. OSPF. Neighbor. I only have one neighbor. Is this guy, the central router, because this guy I did configure OSPF. I did configure OSPF. Now we are neighbors. We need to do the same thing for PP3. So I did save here. I close. And I go away. So PP3, let's go to the questions. The questions. So this is for PP3. I'm going to copy everything. So we need to find the network for all these guys. This is PP3 here. Interface G000. We copy this one. V000 is here. G001. Copy. G011. What is it? (001). Okay, it's down here. S010. S010 is here. Then S011 is this one. We paste. Okay, now we need to work on these networks. We copy. We put them here. OSP router OSPF10 is there. Anything /30, we keep them, like this one. I can keep it with /30. This one also /30, I can keep it. Now these two are /24, 24. So if you have /24, the wildcard mask it's easier, is 255. And here will be 255. The last one also, we do the same thing. We just need to copy this guy and we change here. So we are done for PP3. We're going to copy. We go to here. Basically, we come here. Enable. Const, and we paste. No error message. It means all good. Do copy and start. Automatically, I can start getting some neighbors. Who are they? Show IP OSPF neighbor. I have two neighbors, one for the central router, PP1, and the other one for PP2. So now he's confused. We have full agency, it means we can talk. Now who is the DR, backup DR? We are still talking, exchanging either router ID or... so if after 2 minutes we come, we come back, it will show us who is the DR and what. So we are busy talking now. Okay, so how many percent? We have 33% already. That's very good. Okay, these PCs, we can add the NIC there. PC1, this is the IP address. We can put it there. What is PC1? PC1 is here. We are already there, so it's fine. So we don't need to do that. We continue with the questions. Now, we need to configure router IDs. BD1. This is for BD1. What is BD1? All nines. BD1 is here. All nines. Enable. Show IP OSPF. I want to view who's my neighbor. Neighbor. Okay, so here the election is done, but we can still continue. Const router OSPF 10 router ID, the all nines, 9.9.9.9. You see? So previously, I'm sure we did the elections based on the highest IP address, but here we're going to force by using router ID. We do copy run start to save, run start. We go to the other router, BD2, everything is 88, BD2 88, enable, const, and what? Router OSPF 10, router ID all 8. We save, do copy, run start. We close, and the other guy is all 7, BD3. We go to BD3, enable, const, router OSPF 10, router ID all 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. to copy, run start to save. So we are done for that. Show IP OSPF neighbor. So we have full agency. You see, this one has the highest router ID. Automatically, it becomes the DR. Who is 999? Is the first router on top there. And the second router, 8, it will be the backup. Router 3 is 77, so it's fine. So this is how we configure. So you know how to configure OSPF using the network command we did, interface command, router ID. This is, you go to router OSPF 10, router ID. How many percent? 38. We can, yeah, so we are done with step 1. Step 2. Step 3, customize OSPF operations. Configure BD1 with the highest OSPF interface priority so that it will always be the DR. So OSPF priority, if you go back to our revisions, configure OSPF priority, you go to the interface that is also connected to the other router. You go to that interface and you type OSPF priority the highest. So router 1, so in my network here, who will be the big boss? So I go to interface G000 and I will post it. So you exit here, interface G000. So we have 38%, and let me check if 38% G000. IP OSPF OSPF priority question mark. You see, you have a choice between 0 and 255. So the highest is 255. 255. We go to, you can save, do copy, run start. We got 40%. Configure BD of the multi-access. Okay, we did. On BD1, configure the default route to the ISP cloud using the exit interface. So I go to BD1 again. BD1 is here. I need to configure default route. So I exit IP route 0000 space 0000 question mark. I can use a network, I can use but here we say facing the internet. So the interface facing the internet S011. Configure BD default route to ISP using the exit interface. So I can type here S011 S011, press enter. Let's check how many percent. So it didn't move. Does it mean we need to use the IP of the interface? Okay, let's check S11. BD1. What is BD1 is here. S11 is here. Let's use this. Copy. Instead of using it, let's use the IP to check. Invalid next hop IP address. Okay, so if you want to use IP address, it should be for the next hop. Okay, but what it is correct. S00 going to the ISP 011. Okay, we continue, it's fine. Maybe we'll get some marks later. So after always zeros, question mark, we can use VLAN, we don't need it. Serial, it's what we used. Not this one, not this one. It's not a gig internet, it's not a fast, and it's not an IP, so it's this one. It's what we did. Yeah, serial. Let maybe add. If I say C, serial, question mark, 0/1, I want to check something. I go, okay, anyway, we did correctly, it's fine, we'll get point later. We continue. We did that. Okay. Automatically distribute the default route to all routers in the network. So remember when we came here, route propagation. So you configure first the default route. It's what we did. You see here IP route. Now we go to router OSPF default information originate. So if you do that, it's going to propagate to send all that default route to all other routers. So we go to router 10. So before that, let's go to router here, BD2. Do we have a default route there? Let's check and show IP route. You can see that there is no default route here. You see, if there is a default route, it will be S for static and a star here or asterisk. I don't know. So there is nothing here. Let's go to this other router, BD3. We do the same thing, show IP route, and we don't have any static router, static route, and no default. Let's go to router 1 itself. Show IP route. And here we can see that we have S. It means it's a static route, but if you see, it means a default static route. So here is well done. Now we're going to send this one to other routers. So we do conft router OSPF 10. Default. Yeah, so it's only that comment. Default information originate. To say that this route will be sent automatically to the others. I don't need to go there and configure. I save, do copy and start. I go to the other routers to check if I can see it. Show IP route, not yet. It takes a bit of time. We come here. Show IP route, not yet. So we'll be back again in 5 minutes because we need to exchange. That's why we have OSPF neighbors. We need to exchange information. So you can take a bit of time. We'll be back in 5 minutes to check again. Show IP OSPF neighbor. Okay, I have two neighbors. So we'll check later. Okay, we continue with this. Now configure the hello and dead time on the interface that connect BD1 and PP1. Will be twice the default value. So I take my notepad here again. I'll come down here. We say router OSPF. If you forgot, you come back to your summary. How to configure hello interval and dead. This is how it is. So you go to the interface and IP OSPF. So let me go to router 1. So we say between these two routers, no? So the interface between these two routers S010 on router 1, conft interface S010, IP OSPF 10 question mark, area 0 question mark. No, it's not this comment. So you remove it. You go back to your IP OSPF hello interval, IP OSPF. So IP OSPF question mark, you can configure hello interval. IP OSPF hello interval. We say twice the default. The default is 10. So twice is 20. See here, we put 20, will be 20.
Sorry, sorry,
Yes,
Max. Sorry,
yes,
Max. Yes, I know the question states twice,
yeah.
but didn't you say Wednesday that it's always four times?
Um, okay, so here the default hello is 10, but the dead time is 4 times the hello. So if here is uh, twice, it's 20. So 20 times 4 will be 80. So this guy will be 80.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got it wrong. Sorry, Max.
No problem. It's good to ask question. It helps. Huh? So now if you configure this guy, it will be 80. Huh? So we continue. We do here IP OSPF. Dead interval should be 4 times. So it will be here 80. We can save, do copy, run. Start. How much we have? We have 45%. Not good. Yeah. So let's check again that router if we did exchange the stuff. Not yet. Okay. We'll come back later. Okay, we continue with our thing. Configure OSPF routers so that the default cost for all gig will be 10 and all fax Ethernet will be 100. So we come to, we say what? Let's go back again. OSP routers so that, oh, so it means we need to do for everything here. Okay, we'll do one or two. So if I go to the first router here, BD1, I can see exit do show IP interface brief. So I have 2 gig interface, gig, the value will be 10, and I have 2 gig only. Because here we say what uh, in the questions, configure OSPF routers so that the default cost value on gig will be 10. So cost, how to configure the cost, it's the same thing. cost. We go to the interface and we add the cost. So here this in the question we say 10. So we have 2 gig interface and the default cost will be 10. So we go there, interface G000 IP OSPF cost 10. We are done. Exit. We go to the second one, 001, interface G001 IP OSPF cost 10. And we save, do copy, run, start. Okay, so you go to all the routers and you check which interface. If it's a gig, you put cost 10. If it's a fast Ethernet, you put, so this one you can do that. It's here. And check this one. After that, what else we can do? How many percent we have? Okay, okay, it's what we did, 45. Configure OSPF cost value PP1 interface serial. On PP1 interface serial to be 50. So we go to PP1, that interface, and we put cost 50. Let's go there, PP1. PP1 is here. Enable conft interface serial 011 IP OSPF cost 50. What else we need? Configure OSPF so that routing updates are not sent into network where OSPF updates are not required. This one means what? Passive interface. So check this one and we continue. Okay, so this one means passive interface. So if you go to passive interface, not participating in OSPF because we're not, that interface is not linked to another router. So there is no need to exchange data to say hello. I'm going to say hello to who? I say hello to a router. So it's the interface facing the LAN. So on each router here, you see this one is fine, but this one is facing the LAN. So we configure G0000 as passive interface. So how to do that? Conft router OSPF 10 passive interface G000. You save. So this is how we configure passive interface. We go router OSPF 10 and passive interface and the name of the interface. That interface is not connected to a router, so we don't exchange routing information. I go to this router, BD3 is G000 is facing a LAN or a switch, not a router, so it's a passive interface. I come back there. Conft router OSPF 10 passive interface G000. Oh, sorry. Do copy, and then start. Yeah, so that's all for this this part one. How much we have for now? 49%. So let's say 50% if we did all these. So if you continue, like for example, let's continue a bit. PP2, you can do that also.
Sorry, Max.
Yes, question? Yeah.
Max, that G, what is it? The G one, the one they did last now.
Yeah.
Must we do that on all the routers as a passive, or is it only that two?
Yeah, it's a good question. Normally we didn't specify, so it's good to do on these two also. So let's try to do on this one. We are all G000. Okay, let me do this one and see. Let's say enable conft router OSPF 10 passive interface. This one also is G00. Do copy and start. We go to add a router. Sorry, add a router PP3. This interface. What interface is that? Okay, if you don't know, you can. You have enable show IP interface brief, and I have to interface 10001 is 11. Which one is what? Okay, if you don't know, so yeah, this network is 192.68.55. 55. So it's this network, this interface. Conft router OSPF 10 passive interface will be facing the LAN. So gig 001. Yeah, and you save, do copy, run, start. We check how many percent. 52%. So it means we had to do it. So we have 52%. So you see, even if I don't continue, I do only part one, I pass my exam because pass is 50%. So you should know how to configure OSPF using the interface command, using the network command. Read properly what is required. Don't jump because you won't get marks here. How to configure router IDs and how to customize router interface and costs, default route propagation, hello interface, dead interface, hello time, dead time. That's all. So next, this coming week, we'll do access control list. So when we finish access control list, we'll be doing part 3 because this one is related to access control list. When we are done, the following week, we'll do network address translation, and we could finish this one. So normally CCNA3 is very easy. You just need to practice, do the same thing many times. That's all. It's easy to get 100%. That's all. Any questions before we end the session for today? No questions. So I'll post the recording in the Google Drive for those who want to practice again. I'll do it this afternoon or tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and